state bird is the orange construction cone.
Oh, no, that's Michigan state bird. Sorry, they beat you too.
Yeah, Ontario's is the mosquito.
There you go.
Yeah, you got to have those big ones. So what's on the horizon for you guys? I know the coffee mead's coming out, but have you got other nifty things you're working on that you're willing to let us know about?
Yep, coffee mead's going to be fun. The Minuteman mead is neat. The Lavender is still in the works.
Uh-huh.
You're talking a little earlier about there being a good proliferation of meaderies in Virginia, and back a while ago, Tyson over at Mead Maker had a group of us on the East Coast get together for something called Meetup.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
And we met. It was awesome. It was really neat. Got to meet some real good folks from this area, and met some people from Virginia and Maryland, and had a great time and good networking. And met a gentleman there that wasn't even pro yet and wanted to go, but was talking about this yeast that he got from UC Davis, and talking about Davis and the whole program. And it was a really special mead that he just used for making session meads, and he brought some of his meads there. And let me tell you, his session mead tasted as good as our kind of full alcohol stuff, which I found really hard to make because it seems like the second you get real low in alcohol, the flavor starts kind of weakening. So one of my projects is hopefully by summer is to work on getting a good, powerful, flavorful session mead that we can get out there, and maybe even think about canning it.
Mm-hmm. And that was actually, that's interesting because that very question came up on Got Mead on the Facebook group earlier this week, and there's a guy who's playing with session meads, and what he said was as soon as he drops below like 8-9%, the flavor starts to go away and they're all really bland. So I asked him a battery of questions, like what yeast are you using? Do you match them to the mead style? Because it does make a difference. What's your temperature control look like and all of that? And he was like dead on the money with everything, and they're still bland. So we're kind of working our way through all this stuff, trying to figure out what's going on and why they're doing that. So that's interesting. So you're gonna play with that then this summer?
Yep. We ordered some of the mead. I think they charged us like $120. We got it to the University of Delaware, and the University of Delaware has been helping us propagate it and store it. They've got a nitrogen storage. So they've got it stored for us, and we're just kind of waiting. But there's so many things that we're doing right now here, and just not enough hours in the day.
Yeah.
But hopefully that'll be springtime. We'll start playing with that, and hopefully have something by summer.
Interesting.
Cool.
I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, I do. I mean, if you want to document that, creating a flavorful session mead, if it, to whatever extent that you can, obviously without giving up your state secrets.
Sure.
I think there's a lot, because there's a lot of session mead making going on, not just in the professional mead world, but a lot of people just, like that. It's an easy drinking mead, and if you can keep the flavor up, it's relatively easy to make. So if we can find a way to, circumvent that problem, I think a lot of people will be really happy.
Yeah. I find that one of the things that suffers the most when you're making a session mead, at least in my experience here in the TARDIS, has been mouthfeel.
Yeah.
It starts to get really watery,
Yeah. True.
And
I don't know. And it's hard to even if you back sweeten the heck out of it, then it's just gonna.
Yeah.
Then you just get a sweet session mead, but not necessarily the mouthfeel you're looking for.
Right. You get a raw honey.
Yeah. Then you got that. Yeah, you got that raw honey flavor too, which is a problem if you're going to have it judged.
Right.
Yeah, I found glycerin helped a little bit, but that's really cheating.
It is, and you can't do that on a pro level. You can do it at home if you want to do that. Yeah.
For me, it was because I was doing a ginger mead, and I was using a stevia preparation so that I could bottle condition it without having it continue fermenting and still have it be a little bit sweet. Mm-hmm. And I found that the stevia extract in the glycerin worked a lot better than the stevia in the ethanol.
Yeah, no, stevia and ethanol's got a sharp flavor. Glycerin, that goes away, I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that weird aftertaste.
Yeah, and I realize you can't cheat with glycerin, and it's cheating for me, but that's what worked for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're not, if you're just a home mead maker and you're just gonna, you're making it for your own consumption, I still wouldn't do it with the glycerin, but I had been looking into the wine conditioners, and but I don't know if those contain glycerin, the wine conditioners.
I think mostly they're just stabilizing and sugar.
Yeah.
At least the one that I've got, that's all it is it's the stabilizing chemicals plus some sugar, so you have to stabilize your mead to begin with, and that means for bottle stabilizing, bottle carbonating, for me, it's pointless. But I have used it before, I'm not sure how much it contributes to mouthfeel, because all it is adding more sugar.
Yeah.
So,
it's just,
what do you? I mean, you're the biochemist. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, it took so long to really try to perfect, our system, and most of our meads lock in between about 10.5% and like 13% ABV, and it just has the right taste. I did try to do some 8, 9, 10% stuff, and it just wasn't nearly as flavorful. So I kind of almost gave up on trying to force it, so we could get our flavors perfected by the time we opened up. But now that we're open, we've got a good system and we've got a good formula. Now it's time to really start playing. But I haven't really had the time, so I'm not a good resource to ask right now.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Hopefully I will. Yeah, I'm hoping that maybe this yeast will be part of the key, because as you guys know, yeast is a third of the puzzle. You got to have the great honey source, you got to have a right water source, and yeast. That's the base.
Yeah, you really do. And those make a huge difference. People don't realize how much.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's really interesting, because especially that came up, given the fact that there seems to be kind of a trend in that whole "why can't I make a flavorful session mead?" And I know some of the ones that are doing a really great job with it. I mean, Bee Nectar's built most of their business around session meads with a buttload of flavor and mouthfeel and complexity and everything, and with that lower ABV. And who are some of the other ones that have really?
I guess you're going to have to, out in Colorado, hold Brad down and start tickling him until he gets his secrets out.
Yeah, good luck with that. Mr. Hyperman, yeah, I'd have to catch him first.
We can get John to hold him down.
I think we get John to hold him. There we go. John can hold him down. We can catch him. John can hold him down.
Right. I can catch him.
Yeah, Brad is, he was telling me, he's not hyperactive per se, but the man never stops moving. I mean, literally, I'm pretty sure he doesn't sleep.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Now, the one I was trying, Golden Coast. They've got a dry, a semi, and a sweet, and AJ actually loved their dry, which she didn't think that she would.
Yeah, because dries are generally not my thing.
Yeah, well, me too, but you get a really good one. It changes your tune. I'll have to get you some of this Moscow Miel and bring it out. You'll like it. See if I can get my hands on a bottle of it. They're like you guys. They can't make it fast enough that it actually leaves a meadery. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. Hopefully we'll all have that problem someday.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, it's hard for the rest of us that don't actually live in that area, to actually get some of these. That's the problem.
Yeah, and actually me too. I mean, I would love to. I can get Bee Nectar. I can get Moonlight. Not too many others. Delaware,
Maine Mead works. Have you hit?
Yeah.
I mean, where I've been going, because North Carolina is kind of a mead wasteland too. Though I've got a wine store here who's willing to work with me to get new stuff, and in fact, they're like, "You're Vicky at Got Mead? Great. What else should we get?" So I've got a little bit of got a little bit of street cred there, that I can leverage into getting some of my favorite meads. But Vino Shipper's got a really nice selection of stuff.
Never thought about looking. We just joined with Vino Shipper, but I never thought about looking for other meads.
Yeah, your meads are on there. But yeah, no, there are other meads on there too. Yeah, they've got a pretty good selection. It's not exhaustive by any stretch of the imagination, but there are quite a few on there from all over the country. And you guys are going to get to try some at the Meetup networking event after the conference. We're gathering meads from all over the country, specifically making sure we target the different areas of the country. So there'll be New England meads, there'll be southeastern meads, there'll be southwestern meads, there'll be California meads and Washington meads, and so I'm doing my best to pull stuff from all the big mead areas, Michigan meads and whatnot, to try to represent what it is that we've got.
If you like any of the descriptions, just tell me. We'll stick a bunch of bottles in the bag and drag them out there.
Well, they all sound good, but if I had to choose a couple, I would say the Red Cow, the Choco Cherry, the 04 sounds really interesting. And
you want a full sample pack, just say it.
Yeah, well, what I don't drink, AJ probably will. So
tasting flight.
Yeah, tasting flight. Just 375s are smaller and easier to pack too.
A little like
We're
everything.
Just wedge them all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. You can they fit inside shoes and socks and all kinds of things. So that's. I used to get my mead home from the Mazer Cup that way. I'd pack light, and then I'd go home and a pair of jeans. Inside a pair of jeans rolled up would be a bottle of mead. Inside one of my winter boots would be a bottle of mead.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do. We'll bring out as much as we can.
Yeah. I would suggest, just because this has happened to me, baggies are your best friend.
Yeah, we heard that from someone else. So yeah, we're gonna Ziploc everything.
I got out there once, and
don't get the ones with the little slidey because they don't seal completely.
They don't seal completely. Yeah, I got out there once, and the wonderful luggage people had managed to smash the bottles in my bag. And so not only was there mead all over my clothes, so I had to go find a laundry because then I had nothing to wear. Everything I had was soaked in mead. Yeah, but everything was full of broken glass. I mean, they shattered these things. Some of them were pulverized. I don't know what. They gave it to the gorilla, and it wasn't a Samsonite. So, it was, yeah.
You must have traveled through Philadelphia.
I might have. I don't know. Or Detroit. Detroit's pretty bad for that, too. I'm trying to remember. I think that was when I went to Montana. Because I got my suitcase and it was dripping. It was oh, this can't be good.
Not cool.
There's no happy ending here.
Oh, ouch.
So, yeah, it was not fun. So, yeah, Ziplocs, good Ziplocs are your friend. Although they make wine Ziplocs now for that very reason.
What?
Yeah,
really?
You can buy wine Ziplocs, and they're designed to stick a 750 ml bottle in with a Ziploc seal that is like those. It's like those seals they put on waterproof bags that you take with you when you go diving, like those kind of seals.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's crazy. That's awesome though.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
I saw them somewhere, and I'm like, where the hell were these when I had busted wine all over us?
Exactly. What I'm hoping is that we're sending a bunch of bottles over to Mazer to get judged, and that they want such a large quantity. And you're a judge, so Mm-hmm. We serve in 375s.
Oh, okay.
But they want three 750s to judge.
So that's 6 bottles for you guys.
We're spending 6 of each flavor, and we're sending out 5 flavors.
Whoa, gosh.
So. I'm actually hoping. I sent a little message over to him. I didn't know who to talk to directly, so I sent a generic message and said, whatever you don't open, please save, because I want to, give these out. And there's a bunch of people out there I'd like to meet and hand bottles, including you now. So I hope they do.
Yeah, they might. I don't know. I know that, and I'm not working on the Mazer this year because I'm doing stuff with the AMMA, but. What they used to do, and this was what made the Mazer really awesome, is, there's over 100 minions, okay, people that come to work the show, and they're serving, and they're pouring, and they're working the mead mixer, and they're sitting tables and whatnot, and, giving breaks to the mead makers at the mead mixer, and, so there's minions everywhere. And these are, just regular folks. Some of them fly across the country, or even from other countries, to come and carry trays of wine glasses and clean up and stuff, just to work the Mazer Cup. So basically what's ever left over is paid to the people that work there. That's how they get paid.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. The locals have a blast, because we've got a couple of local brew clubs that basically show up en masse. And there's all the leftover home brews that are mostly open, so you can't
Nice.
really transport them. And so they'll take cases. They're like taking